Indigenous rights are the rights of the indigenous people of a particular nation or society to self-determination and the right to their land, language, culture, and traditions in the face of foreign domination or occupation. In recent years, there has been a growing international recognition of the importance of protecting the rights of indigenous communities, as well as policies and initiatives that support indigenous rights and cultural exchange. One of the most important initiatives is the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, UNDRIP. This declaration, which was adopted in 2007, outlines the collective and individual rights of indigenous peoples and establishes the right of indigenous peoples to self-determination, land, and other resources. It also recognizes the importance of preserving and protecting the cultures, languages, and traditions of indigenous peoples. Another important initiative is the International Labour Organization's ILO Convention 169, which was adopted in 1989. This convention recognizes the rights of indigenous and tribal peoples to their lands, territories, and natural resources, and establishes the right of these communities to participate in decision-making processes that affect them. It also requires governments to consult with indigenous peoples before any development or other activities that may affect them. In addition to these initiatives, there have been a number of national initiatives to promote indigenous rights and cultural exchange. For example, the Canadian government has established an Indigenous cultural exchange program to foster greater understanding and appreciation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. Through this program, Indigenous artists, performers, and craftspeople are invited to travel to other regions of Canada to share their cultures and traditions. There are also a number of local initiatives that aim to promote Indigenous rights and cultural exchange. For example, the Native American Rights Fund, NARF, works to protect and expand the rights of indigenous peoples in the United States. NARF works to ensure that indigenous peoples have access to their traditional lands and resources, as well as the right to self-determination. Finally, there are a number of initiatives that aim to promote indigenous rights and cultural exchange on a global scale. The International Indian Treaty Council, IITC, is an NGO that works to ensure that the rights of indigenous peoples are respected and protected. It works with governments, international organizations, and other groups to promote the rights of indigenous peoples and foster greater understanding and appreciation between indigenous and non-indigenous cultures. Indigenous rights and cultural exchange initiatives are essential for protecting the rights of indigenous peoples and promoting understanding and appreciation between indigenous and non-indigenous cultures. These initiatives are important steps towards creating a more equitable and just world for all.